Hello, it's me again, and I'm back with another video about bootleg toys. Now, you may or may not be familiar with Popples, but they were a very popular toy line in the 80s and also had their own cartoon.
Popples, Popples, living just for fun.
One of the things that I happen to collect. So naturally, I have a few bootleg Popples from the 80s, and that is exactly what this video is going to be about. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our contenders today. All right, and here is the specimen. This is quite a large plush, and to show you exactly how large, I will compare it to the Popple that it appears to be ripping off, which would of course be Prize Popple. And I have her right here. Pardon the mess, I am rearranging my room, as you might be able to tell. This is the actual Prize Popple right here. So obviously, while there are color similarities, such as the belly color, feet color, well, they just sort of went with the same all around, whereas obviously authentic Popples have different colors on their feet and their little hands. And of course the ear colors are also completely different, so you can tell that they were inspired by this design but then did their own thing, which is really the best thing for a knockoff toy. Get creative with it, you know? Why not? Might as well. Can't do the same thing as the original, so you might as well be original. Anyways, so yeah, as you can see, there's quite a size difference. Another interesting thing about this particular Popple right here is that it is actually a plush backpack. Yes. So, you may already know that officially they did make Popples backpacks in the 80s that were distributed in the United States as well as other countries. And, you know, obviously they wanted to take that idea and create a Popples backpack along the same line. So, I actually really enjoy it. I've worn it a few times out in public, which is something that weird people like me do. So here's the backpack part. It's got this nice flap so that when you put something in it, you know, like I would put in my wallet and my phone, you can actually tuck this flap over, and it keeps the stuff safe. So of course, while it doesn't zip up or button or anything, it keeps your stuff in there. And then the backpack part is kind of wonky, but it's got this kind of thing, sort of like a bathrobe sash, and you can adjust the size by pulling it. Of course, the sides aren't exactly perfectly even, so it doesn't fit extremely comfortably. I would probably make this a bit longer. But yeah, this is our very cool bootleg Prize Popple. Fun fact, this bootleg Prize Popple plush backpack, say that 20 times fast, is actually from Germany, and that's why it's so different from anything you've seen in the States, presumably if you live here. The eyes are an interesting feature. They're extremely different from the eyes of a normal Popple. As you can see here, there is no similarity whatsoever, other than the fact that they're both hard plastic. However, I do sort of like it, and I think that it's grown on me a bit. It's unique. While it's clearly a Popple, it's a very unusual German variant that was unofficially distributed. It's quite unique. I haven't seen anything like this before or since I received it. We have quite a few other bootleg pleasures today, and we shall move on to the next right now. Now this next bootleg comes to us all the way from Italy, and it is a official plush backpack. I know I said I would be doing parody toys, but I wanted to show you the official Popples backpack so you can compare it with what we previously saw. And of course, it goes without saying that these bootleg collections are considerably difficult to obtain and therefore very rare. So these next items are not in the best of condition, unlike my backpack, but they're here and it's the best we've got, so we'll make do. Here I have a small collection of Popples grip-on toys, and we have a mixture of real and bootleg. I'm going to give you just one moment to take a look at these and see if you can tell me which ones are real and which ones are the bootleg. I'll give you a few seconds. Otherwise, you can pause the video. Which one's the bootleg? You figured it out? Well, let's find out. Okay, our first one here. It's a nice purple one. Has a pretty good tail here. You know, the tail looks pretty real. It's got little hands, little paws, little paw feet with a heart on the bottom. And this one is a bootleg. All right, that's a bootleg. Now, let's try this next one. All right, this one sort of looks like somebody, right? Like, not necessarily in color, but like in the face. Now, the face looks a little more like something, right? You know? Here we've got, well, this one's missing a tail, and it's quite a bit discolored, quite faded. Here we've got little hands again, and little hearts on the feet. So, that is our indication of a bootleg in this case. So yes, that is a bootleg also. This one here, this one is pretty much completely fuzzy except for the eyes and the nose, the muzzle. And of course, this Popple here is based on Prize Popple. So let's take a look at the details. We've got some nice ears. This one is actually in the best of condition out of any of the ones I have. So it might be an unfair example. But, yeah, so we see we've got the purple cheeks. We've got a little colored belly down there. Little different colored hands. There's no little baby hands. And then we've got the little feet. And in comparison to the real thing, the colors are pretty much exact. Even the feet. We've got the pink and the blue. And yep, this appears to be the same as well. So, as you might have guessed, this is an official Popples release. It even has a tag. This one, I'm pretty sure this one came from France. So, yeah, there we go. And that is a real one. So now you know what bootleg ones and what real ones look like. So these next two might be a bit obvious for you, but I'll let you take a quick look and you tell me which one is real and which one is bootleg. All right, that's too easy. You already know the answer. This one's the bootleg and this one's real. Of course, this one is based on Putter. He's a little more dingy than the last one, but he does have his tail, thankfully. Unlike this one right there. But yeah, Putter looks like Putter. So, course they got that. Whoa, actually his feet are different. That's weird. It's probably just because the blue on this one faded off. I'm pretty sure the color on that faded off. But yeah, that's a real one there. So here you've seen another example of bootleg Popple toys. At first glance, they might appear to be the same, but to you and I, well, the difference has been made known. Now, before we move on to the last, but certainly opposite of least, bootleg toy, before we get to that, I'm going to do one more thing with you. We're going to do another guessing game. Don't worry, this one's very quick. There's only one thing. Just tell me if it's a bootleg or if it's real. Now you may have guessed that thing right here. It's a Popples pencil case. Or a long boy. Or, you know, long girl, because this is a girl Popple. Is this real or is this bootleg? Now, is this friend a bootleg or real? Okay, let's take a quick look at it here. Got the face. Pretty nice. The eyes look pretty good. You know, looks pretty good, right? So, this is actually, believe it or not, authentic. Of course, this particular Popples was distributed in Japan. And Japan seems to have gotten their own exclusive line of Popples goods. They must have been popular over there too. All right, are you ready for our last guest of the night? In my opinion, my favorite bootleg Popples toy that I own. This is our last friend. Now this one comes to us all the way from Spain, and he has a few interesting features that I would like to go over. First of all, his eyes, which look pretty similar to the classic Popples style, so, yeah, and they're quite well done, considering, you know, they paid, you know, pretty close attention. These are actually not plastic, but it's painted wood, so it's made out of wood. And you can sort of tell if you look here at this one, which is a bit scratched. Yeah, there you go, it's soft wood. But I think that's cool, right? The nose is made of kind of like a sock material, which is a different material than anywhere else on the plush. The tail is made of like a colorful sort of rope, actually. Let's take a look at that. In a way, sort of reminds me of those Chinese finger traps that are way too easy to get out of. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And then he's got a popple tail, but it's not multicolored, it's just one color. So it's just pink. Another difference, very considerable difference, especially considering that the entire, shall I say, marketing point around Popples toys was that they have a pouch on their back that they can basically invert into and become a Popples ball. And you can see that on my Popples shelf here. In the back, some of them are curled up in their balls, but you can't quite tell. Our Spanish friend here doesn't have a pouch. There's actually no pouch on him at all. So quite different than an authentic Popple. I would think any child who's familiar with the series would immediately recognize this as a bootleg. But parents, on the other hand, we all know how parents are. They might not. Another really cool thing about this bootleg that not a lot of other bootlegs have is it has an actual tag. So this was made by a company, Cell or Kel or whatever that is in Spanish, and it's got a little back of the tag there. So here you can say Mesa, Valencia, oops, and made in Spain. So yeah, that tag shows its age a bit, but it's still in fairly good shape and still intact. So this is my favorite of the bootleg Popples that I own, as I mentioned before. I just think that it's a very attractive looking toy. It's pretty high quality as far as materials go and craftsmanship. It appears to be vaguely based on PC Popple up here. Even going to have the same color belly, which is yellow. So vaguely based on PC, but not 100%. He's his own creature. He or she or they. Whatever they want to be identified as. This is my Popples friend, who, by the way, needs a name. So drop your suggestions in the comments, please. I would like to hear them. I will tell you the outcome in the next video. And that, my friend, is what I have for you today on the bootleg Popples. So, to get them all together for you, enjoyed this little video. Sorry it's been so long. I have a lot of personal things going on that I may or may not be more specific about in the future, but for now, just know that I've been thinking of you all every day and hoping that I get a chance to make a video soon. So here it is. I hope you enjoy.